we sometimes need to find a percentage of a number. Like if we are given 20% discount on an item that we want to purchase. So when we see 10% of anything is actually 1/10, and it's very easy to find. Now, if 10% is so easy, so are the multiples of 10, like 20%, 5%, 30%. So 10% of 70 we can mentally see is 7. So 20% must be double of that, that is 14. So 20% of 70 is 14. Or let's say 15% of 60. Here we know that 15% is 10% and 5%. 10% plus 5%. What we can do here is 10% of 60 is 6 and 3% of 60 is 3, and when we add them it's 9. So 15% of 60 is 9. Now let's do a little harder one. 7.5% of, let's say, 80. Now we spot here that this 7.5 is actually 3 times of 2.5, right? 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5, they add up to 7.5. And we also spot that this 2.5 is 1/4 of 10. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and 2.5. So first we find 2.5% of 80, and then we can multiply it by 3. 2.5% times 3 is 7.5%, right? To get the final answer. So right away we can see 10% of 80 is, let me change the color. 10% of 80 is 8. 5% must be half of that, that is 4. And 2.5% is half of that, that is 2. Now 2 times 3 is 6, and that's actually the answer here. 7.5% of 80 is 6. I hope I did not confuse you. If you want to get full benefit of this course, then do the practice sheet of this lesson before moving on to the next lesson.